It's a little known fact. In Lostria, they drink tea. I'm sure they do. I mean, you can just imagine him with a nice mug of tea instead of the cold fireball thing. I'm just saying it's a cold fireball because it looks like it's a fireball, but it's blue. I don't know if it really is. And apparently they've discovered lasers. You can see the lasers shooting off into the sky. Dinosaurs riding dinosaurs with lasers. Ridiculous. Yeah, these load times are pretty long. And this is with 4 factions. Actually, no, alright, so there are 4 main factions. Those are the playable guys. But there are billions of other factions scattered throughout the country. And I'm hoping that now that I've done the tutorial battle, I'll actually be able to explore a bit more and see a bit more. Because basically there is a representative, at least one, usually 2 or 3, of every single old world nation. So for example, the Empire is in the New World with colonies. Makes sense. Bretonnia amusingly has several Crusader armies over here. Part of it is called the Vampire Coast, ostensibly because there are vampires there. And many other ones, and I think there's 1 or 2 dwarven clans out here. The elves, obviously. Actually, I don't know if there are any wood elves. There might not be any wood elves. That's true, we as mammals ride mammals, and we have lasers, so it's not that weird. Doesn't sound quite as cool when you say, "Ha ha! Mammals riding mammals! Ha ha! Dinosaurs riding dinosaurs." Well, they do have a solar-powered laser mounted on a dinosaur, that is true. I have a feeling that Mazdamundi actually starts with that. I think. It's either him or the other guy. Crack Gore or whatever his name was. Dinosaurs on dinosaurs with frickin' laser beams.
The Skeggi flee before your awesome bulk, Lord Mazdamundi. It only remains to decide the fate of those captured in battle.
No, this isn't on my SSD. I think it's big enough. What's Total War Warhammer on there? If not, I might reinstall it on the SSD. I'll check. Because I think EU4 is on my SSD. Maybe Total War Warhammer was. Not sure. Alright, post-battle options. Yeah, I know. I can release the captives, get less casualty replenishment for 5 turns, but get a bit more money. Exterminate them. Where we gain 100 experience for all of my units. That's interesting. We can kill and eat them. And we get 8% replenishment if we do that. We don't actually need that much replenishment for this. Mazdamundi got 173 kills. Really? 173? I'm not sure I believe these kills, because I know that the Skinks got a whole bunch. And saying that these guys got no kills except for him, I think they fiddled the numbers a little bit. I'm going to say...
Your forces are weary from battle, yet they still retain some strength to march on. See for yourself. The distance your army can still move is shown around it, my lord. Plan your movements wisely, for your armies cannot defend the realm if they are not present. As one Skeggi force is defeated, so may others be sent to replace it. Move now to block the route to your capital, lest the Warmbloods risk another attack.
Saying going here. I would go here, because then you can stop them going that way. Alright.
Good. Your army now blocks the approach to your capital. Any attack by the enemy will need to get by you first. See for yourself how your forces control the area around them. Life proliferates in the spawning pools, revered lord. More reptilian servants...
Right, seriously, can we get rid of the tutorial? Difficulty, battle settings, difficulty, that's what I want. Game settings. I'm going to say minimal. Right. So we can recruit more troops, that's true. So we've got Skink Cohort, which are the shielded aquatic. What does aquatic mean? Is there a pin button? There certainly used to be a pin button. Really? Fine, I'll right click on it. Aquatic. Ah, and of course it doesn't tell you what aquatic actually does. Great. Where's the pin button?
Excellent choices, my lord. Be aware that the recruits will take time to train.
Okay.
You will, of course, be aware that armed forces cost... Let us review what destruction the warm-blooded trespassers have wrought on your territory, enlightened lord. Select the temple city to inspect your province. The province surrounding your capital is shown here, my lord. A province may contain many cities, each exerting authority over the territory surrounding them. Control the cities, and you control the land. Cities within the local province are shown here, my lord, along with any facilities they contain. Shown also are those cities in the province that were lost to the enemy. A reminder of the need to reclaim them, my lord. Your capital and the buildings it contains are shown here, my lord. Work needs to be done to improve its readiness for war. Here we may see the state of the province that surrounds your capital. The enemy raids have caused considerable unrest. Public order is suffering, as you can see, my lord. The agitators will need calming. Your cities are the backbone of your state, my lord. Good. Construction will begin immediately.
Right, you're going to give me control?
More you can do for now, my lord.
So I'm going to start this again without the tutorial, because this is really getting annoying now. So I'm going to exit to the main menu. We're going to blitz through that. We're not going to do the first battle. And we're just going to go from there, because this is getting silly. Ah, wish there was a way of just skipping it. Right, campaign. New campaign.
I am Tyrion.
Yeah. Do not enable the campaign introduction. Start campaign. Alright. And while that's loading, I'm going to go and see if Total War Warhammer was indeed installed on my SSD. It was. Okay, so I might see if I can clear some space on my C drive and move it to there so it has SSD loading. Because the loading screens are redonkulous without that. I would quite agree. Though this seems to have gone a bit quicker. Here we go. This is all I wanted. This is literally all I wanted from the tutorial. Geometric web. Lizardmen settlements are linked by an anti-network of power that spans the world. By increasing the power of the geometric web in a province, a Lizardmen faction can increase the potency of any commandments issued there. Spawning pools Illustria will occasionally bring forth an especially gifted set of warriors, which may be recruited once a special mission is completed. Cool. Mission issued. Ensure that one of the following buildings has been constructed. Temple Precinct. Great Master! The stars have moved into a favourable alignment. At your will, it is time to augment and upgrade the Temple City. Alright, we can do that. Mission issued. Trespassers! Capture and occupy a settlement belonging to the following faction. SEGA. Your words are low, revered... Your words are low, revered master. The untamed ones, the SEGA colony, must be disciplined. Purge them from where they squat and reclaim our settlements. Cool. So we can see the rights here. These are the rights which give you various bonuses, and I think they also link to the Vortex right thing, which is what this thing is. So basically the goal of this game is not just to conquer everyone. Conquest is still, I think, a potential victory condition, but this one is the one which gives it a slightly more reasonable length than just painting the world your colour, or destroying it all. So the various factions are all displayed here. At these various places we get new rituals which become available, I think, and it takes up some of the ritual power. So, prognostication, rumination, contemplation, deliberation, and then the alignment. And inventions during enemy rituals call upon intervention courses to target enemy ritual sites. So when you are doing a ritual, you are actually opening yourself up to attacks. Basically, the enemy can call mercenary armies to intercept your rituals. These are not taken from your regular armies. They are instead armies that are spawned specifically to go and attack the ritual. And that is a mechanic designed to make rituals dangerous. You want to be well fortified. You want to be in a position to defend wherever the ritual is being cast from to fortify against that, because you will be attacked. And generally, the more wealthy your opponents are, the wealthier you are, the more powerful these interventions can be. I think it's something like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 gold army costs, and then the more expensive the army it is, the more damage it can do. So this time we did indeed start with different troops. Okay, so we have Temple Guards, which are Sauruses. They are like elite Sauruses. Armoured and shielded, armour piercing, charge defense against large foes, and they are predatory senses. Oh, now it sticks around. Okay. Natural hunters, they can sense prey hiding nearby. Oh, interesting. So they can basically spot hidden, is what I'm reading from there. Primal instincts. When under pressure, the primal instincts of these predators take over. They then go on a rampage against nearby enemy units, attacking the closest one and ignoring any orders given. So if they take either too much leadership damage or too much actual damage, I'm going to assume that's leadership, then they basically go berserk. And you can't control them anymore. I don't know if there's any way of then controlling them afterwards. I don't know. And they're also predatory, so they can see hidden. Aquatic. Right, here we go. Where other units of small stature struggle to fight and move in shallow water, aquatic units excel. So I guess they get a bonus, or at least no penalties when they're in water. Poison attacks. Reduce their vigour. And they do have shields. Cool. They're both that. And then the Bastillodon. The solar engine. So this is the dinosaur with a laser on it. You thought I was joking. This armoured, armour-piercing melee causes terror, and the Beer of Chotek, an intense white-hot shaft of light, emanates forth, burning and blinding the foe with the wrath of Chotek himself. And wow, yeah, 403 damage. That's quite a lot of damage. Cool. And we are able to recruit more skinks and more skink cohort. I don't think I want to just now. I think I might actually go after the Monolith of Fallen Gods to see if we can recapture that. What kind of garrison can I expect? Marauders, Great Weapons, Chaos Marauders, and Chaos Warhounds. Ziggurat of Dawn actually has a lot less troops. So if we can take out the Monolith of Fallen Gods, then Ziggurat of Dawn will be easier. Then Hoaxacatl has Temple Guards, Saurus Warriors, Skink Cohorts, Cold One Riders. Cold One Riders are the dinosaur riders. And Croxigors. Croxigors are Sauruses, but even bigger and even badder. They hit like a truck. They are like trolls, but don't have stupidity. They are really quite strong. Okay, so Hoaxacatl. Let's actually have a look at what we can build here. So, Isthmus of Lustria. Gold mining pit. I like the sound of that. And it reduces the recruitment cost of Croxigors, Temple Guards, and Cold Ones. Sweet. We do have some special buildings. The Stellar Pyramids of the Southern Skies, which increases the capacity of Slann mages, increases the Winds of Magic reserve for everyone. Wow, that is huge. And 12% more research. So more magic, more wizards to cast said magic. Lords are all increased in strength, and also research. That is ridiculous. It does, however, cost 15,000. Then the Blessed Incubator. Within the Blessed Incubator, the beasts of Hoaxacatl are kept ready for the Old One, Itzel, to leave his mark. Exotic animals resource production 100 cages, so I guess that's another trade good? And reduces the upkeep of Pterodon riders, Cold Ones, Stegodons, Basildons, and Connoisseurs throughout the army. Interesting. Serakasa Ehebgutter, thank you very much for the follows. Are there any other special buildings here? Star Chamber, here we go. Unlocked technologies. Determining the Great Plan. We do need to check what the technologies are. Weapon Crafters Commune. Oh, either of them unlock the Great Plan. Or do they unlock new technologies within this? I see. So even to start doing technology, we need to grab these. Requires skink forging camp. Requires stonemaker, scrying pool, grand plaza, skink barrios. Thought that's a burritos for a minute. Spawn pools of the braves, sacred spawning caverns, or the beast lair. And that, I guess, leads up to here, at which point you need to have interpreting the old one's meanings, at which point you can get the advanced techs, and then to get the final tech, you need to get the sequences, well, the determining the great plan tech. Hey, Don Bassos. So, research... Oh, it actually shows you the research rate. That's cool. Pretty big. Probably not as complicated as the Dwarven tech tree, but this is very similar to the Empire one, actually. More in depth. I would say there's more to do here, but the Empire one is also related to buildings that you have. So that's kind of cool. And speaking of the Empire, there were a couple of questions when I was doing my last series with Bretonnia saying, hey, when are you going to play as the Empire? Because the Empire are my favourite faction. The Empire is who I like to play as. And when I was doing tabletop, after I was finished with the starter kit, I played Empire. The idea is to do the, what do they call it? The Mortal Empires with the Empire. So in this version, you have Lustria and Ulthuan. So this is the map. You can see it right there. That is the map. So this is Ulthuan, this is Lustria, and this is something else. I don't actually know what that is because I just don't know. Huh, I wonder what that is. Black Pyramid of Nagash. I didn't think the undead were in this. Interesting. Araby. Is this stuff actually in the game? Oh, that's cool. So Nagash is one of the undead faction leaders. He's not a vampire count, he's his own faction, so I would not be surprised if Nagash appears. Hey, Calico, I've not seen you for a while. Do you need a maintenance company on High Armor divisions? No, you don't. You can have them. Maintenance companies basically increase the reliability, so if you are losing a lot of things because of low reliability through attrition, then it can basically offset attrition penalties, is what maintenance companies do. For anything, not just armoured. So we have Lustria, Lustria, Ulthuan, Undead Place, Araby. I think this is actually called Araby. Then you have over here is the Old World. And the idea of the Immortal Kingdoms DLC, which is to be released, they haven't announced officially, but I think it's in the next month or two, is to stitch these two maps together. So you have the New World plus Ulthuan, and also the Old World, and you can play on the entire thing, with all the factions there involved. And that's when I intend to play as the Empire, because my goal will be to build colonies in the New World, like Empire colonies over here, actually controlled and owned by me, and probably also to like vassalize the Border Princes and Tylea to stop them also doing it, possibly Bretonnia too. But that's what I want to do. So that's going to be cool. And then when Warhammer 3 is released, that's going to add the third section of the map, which I don't actually know what it is. I thought that this area was actually going to be the third map. Apparently it's not, which is why I'm so surprised. I thought that would be Araby, I thought that would be Nagash, but apparently that's already here. So I have no idea what the third area is going to be. It might be Chaos, like more of the Chaos Wastes. No idea. But basically the idea then is they're going to have an even bigger grand campaign where you have all three maps stitched together. That is the ultimate idea. Yeah, the loading times are going to be horrendous for that. Although, next time I record this, I will have this switched over to my C drive, so hopefully the loading times will be slightly more acceptable. Isn't it the Tomb Kings? Yeah, probably, because, you know, in the Old World, to the right of the Old World, you have, like, the Barrens kind of in the southeast area, and then there is something off to the east. That is Tomb Kings area. And also I think the Ogre Kingdoms are in the north of that area, like just south of the Chaos area. Actually, I don't know. But I'm expecting it to be Ogre Kingdoms, I'm expecting it to be Tomb Kings, but that's not very much. Like, there's got to be something else to go with that, and I don't know what that could possibly be, except maybe the Chaos Wastes. Right, so those are our missions, these are our objectives. What are our... We don't have any sub-objectives. Alright, good, because that's something I always forget to do. This is the geometric web. Here we go. So this is showing you the strength of your commandments. And this is one of the interesting things about the Lizardmen, because no other faction can see this web. This is purely for the Lizardmen. And that means the Lizardmen could be attacking something which seems completely pointless to another faction. Like, I could ignore Chotek's Causeway here and attack this place instead. Why? Why would I not take this? Well, because this adds to my web. This does not. So you can basically be doing missions which are completely alien, and that's the purpose of this. The Lizardmen are meant to feel alien to other factions around them, which is good for you, but completely irrelevant to them. So they might let you do it without actually realizing it's making you a lot stronger. So a geometric web, I think to get the strength bonuses you need to have every single connection to that place leveled up. So we need this place, we need the Maku Peaks, and Falks. Ooh, what's down here? Swamp Town. New World colonies. These are the Empire colonies that I was talking about that start off in the New World. So we do have an Empire faction out here. I think there may be 2 of them. Swamp Town being the New World colonies. So that is the Empire, guys. And if we go to this one, yes, we can see them. So we have Norskans over here. We have the Empire here. Oh, who's this? You're not going to tell me, because this is not actually the diplomatic map mode. I do wish you could do diplomacy from there. Oh, that's Uaxi, so that's another Lizardmen faction. I wonder if that's the other Lizardmen faction. No idea. Alright, so, we definitely need to go after the monolith. What was their garrison again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. I've currently got 3, 6, 7 units, including my legendary lord, so we should be okay. The other thing I should check, actually, is his skill tree. So, as is more normal for latter lords, they have got quite a complicated and quite in-depth skill tree. And in fact, in the last patch, not with the release of this, but the previous big patch for Warhammer 1, they also increased the legendary lord trees for all the other big time lords, which is pretty cool. So reserves of eldritch energy, that increases winds of magic power reserve, which means more magic. Winds of magic for the enemy reduced, so less magic for them. Even more magic. And bound spell banishment causes magic damage, disrupts formations, moving area of effect, strong versus multiple. Okay, so these are just new spells. These are increasing the amount of magic we have. Magic resistance. Miscast base chance, that means I can power up the spells and they have less chance of hurting me. Public order in the local area, and we can cause terror. Alright, regeneration, that's a good one. So we become more vulnerable to fire damage, but we are constantly regenerating. And then 25% physical resistance. So anything which is not magical damage, we just take 25% less of. That's pretty good. Harmonic convergence. So we have a spell. Or do we start with this spell? We may start with it. No, we don't. Rolling Skies. So once we have all 4 points in this out of the possible 7, then we can get evasion. Likewise, oh wow, that's a big category. Once we have 6 points in this one, we can get rally. And once we have 4 points in here, we can get that. So to get the Inspiring Presence list will actually require more points. So I wonder if the Saurus Legendary Lord has an easier time of getting the Inspiring Presence, but a hard time either getting the the agent skills or the combat skills.
Nagash, my Skaven friends took care of that little bone dust. Yes, yes!
I'm looking forward to playing Skaven. I was really torn whether to do Lizardmen or Skaven, just because I can't wait to do Skaven voices. But no, I went with Lizardmen. So the skink voice is probably going to be fairly similar to the Skaven voice, just because doing high-pitched is going to sound kind of similar. Anyway, so we have Sauruses, we have Temple Guards, so I think we have a strong enough army to go after the Monolith of the Fallen Gods. It is not a walled city. I think we'll be fine. Go, big magic frog dude. Oh yeah, it's saying overwhelming chance of success here. Let's do this. Went for Skaven, could not let the Doom Wheel wait. Yeah, fair play. I have no experience with the Skaven whatsoever outside of Blood Bowl. I've never played against them on tabletop. None of my friends collected them. I know very little about them. Certainly compared to the Lizardmen, which are the ones that I know the most about. I know a little bit about the High Elves. Almost nothing about the Dark Elves, except for the fact that I actually played as the Dark Elves in Blood Bowl. So, if this were Blood Bowl, I'd know all about the Night Elves. Dark Elves, sorry. Unfortunately, this is not Blood Bowl.